Where were you on 9/11?
So when the 9/11 attacks happened, I was a teacher out at Thunder Mountain Middle School out in Enumclaw. So I was driving in that morning, and I actually had to go in early because we had a meeting for sixth grade camp. And so on the way into work is when they first announced the first plane hitting the tower. And at that time, I didn't really think it was as big of a thing because I was thinking, number one, that was early in the morning. I was forgetting that it's 3 hours ahead. I thought it was a small plane that had hit the tower. And then I was listening to the radio, and then when the second one hit, that's when I kind of had the realization that, number one, this is like 3 hours later in time, and that they were two normal sized planes, and that's not just a fluke accident, that something was going.
The 9/11 attacks started at 8:46 when the hijacked Flight 11 was crashed into floors 93 to 99 of the North Tower. The hijacked Flight 175 struck floors 77 to 85 of the South Tower 17 minutes later. When the tower struck, between 16,000 and 18,000 people were in the complex. Of those, the vast majority evacuated safely. As they rushed out, first responders rushed in, trying to save those
In our classrooms, and so our principal allowed us to watch the TVs, and so most of the day we kind of spent just watching kind of the news, trying to find out more information about what was happening. I remember my kids, they were sixth graders, and a lot of them didn't quite understand the significance of, number one, the fact that we were attacked like that, but then also like the loss of life and just realizing how many people had lost their lives that day.
According to FBI.gov, 2,976 people unfortunately lost their lives on 9/11. Even to this day, there is still first responders and people who helped out that still suffer from health issues relating to 9/11.
And so we didn't really do kind of normal school that day. Most of the day was spent kind of watching the news and kind of just talking to the kids. And then when we got home, we were living here in this house, and your dad and I just bought the house that summer, and so we were painting the house, and we kept trying to go outside to paint, but we kept just coming back inside, watching the TV. There was story after story about people who were missing, especially in New York. They were trying to find their loved ones. There was kind of just missing posters up everywhere, people trying to find people. And so we finally just came in and we watched the news, and I also remember just the fact that you could not hear any planes flying. They'd all been grounded. And we could hear, though, at the intersection of 140th and Petrovisky, there were people there with flags, like American flags, and people were honking their horns as they went by. And just a day, definitely a really sad day, kind of a day that was really scary day, not really knowing all the details of what was happening.
9/11 has had a huge impact on the American life. We've increased our military operations, our economic measures, political pressure. It's also led to security improvements and changes to the federal government. In March of 2006, the museum and 9/11 memorial started construction. After visiting both, it is definitely difficult to think about what happened at such a catastrophic event. May the people who lost their lives that day rest in peace.